Welcome to Hair by Sonia, where hair transformation begins. Whether you're looking for a fresh cut, bold color, or a complete makeover, Sonia and her expert team have you covered. At Hair by Sonia, we believe every client deserves to feel confident and beautiful. That's why we use only the best products and techniques tailored just for you. From the moment you walk in, you'll experience personalized care and a relaxing atmosphere designed to pamper you. Our clients love their results. Just look at these amazing transformations. Join our family of satisfied clients and discover why Hair by Sonia is the go-to salon for your hair needs. Ready for a change? Book your appointment today and let us bring out the best in your hair. Hair by Sonia. Love your hair. Love yourself. She says sports. She say sports. She say sports. She say sports. Hey y'all, it's your girl Sonia, and welcome back to She Say Sports. As you know, October is recognized as Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and every year She Say Sports tries to do their part by bringing awareness by bringing breast cancer survivors on the show. Today, we have a 12-year breast cancer survivor, fellow Jackson State University alum, and a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Please welcome my friend, my soror, Erica Barringer-Barnes. What's up, E? How you doing, girl?
Good. How you doing today?
I am doing well. Thank you so much for joining the show. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the invite.
Absolutely. So, just give a little background of who you are, where you come from, and all that good stuff before we get started.
Okay, I'm Erica Barnes. I'm from Chicago, Illinois. I was bred, fed, everything in Chicago. I attended Jackson State University from 90 to 94, where I ended up moving to Atlanta and marrying my college sweetheart, Kevin Barnes. We've been married now, he get on me about this, about 27 years. We have a 17-year-old daughter, Kennedy, that is a senior in high school right now. So that's been my focus. I would say within the last 3 years, I decided to go back to school and get my master's in social work. So I also got a master's at UGA in social work. I would say just really, that's Erica in a nutshell. Member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated with Stone Mountain, Lithonia. Continue to do service and speaking out around breast cancer and trying to help the best way I can, because it's a journey.
It's a journey.
And also just trying to speak on, a lot of times we go through the journey of breast cancer, but also thinking about the life after cancer. I never thought about that until it happened to me, and that's a journey in itself as well.
It definitely is, and we're gonna get to that. But what was I gonna say? Your daughter is on tours for school, and it's kind of full circle for you now. You guys went to Jackson State, and now it's time for her to make a decision. And you excited? You nervous? You sad?
Because she's my only child, I think is excitement, but sadness as well. But it's so funny. We right before I got on here, she got an email saying, because we're doing early enrollment to her top 5 schools, and she got an email this morning from Jackson State that she was accepted. So I'm really excited. It's on her list, but it wasn't her number 1, but that's okay. You want them to choose what you feel is best for them. What will make them happy, because I want you there. That don't mean you want to be there, but and I think just her coming to homecoming and games and things like that. One thing she always had has always said to me that one thing she loved about Jackson State is our family and friends. So I always said that she said it's like a big family, and that's what she loved. And she does want to attend a HBCU because of the families and friends we had over 30 years, you know.
I mean, real. Yes. Some of them are closer to me than my own blood family. And people don't understand. And they're like, why are you so excited about homecoming? I'm like, you don't understand. These people, it's not just a game. It's a family reunion. And so it's truly, truly a blessing. It really, really is. So, well, I'm excited for her. Congratulations on the admittance, and I know where she wants to go, but maybe homecoming may change her mind. I don't know.
Look, I am bringing her in the next 2 weeks, her and her two best friends. So.
Right. So, God may do something. We never know. Right. So let's get into it. Let's get into it, Erica. So, Erica, when were you diagnosed with breast cancer, and what was your initial reaction? I mean, did you find a lump, or you just went for your annual mammogram? Tell us, walk us through that.
Okay. So for me, back in, I would say, April of 2011, I went for a mammogram, my yearly mammogram. At the time, the person that was doing the mammograms, the audio for the mammograms, she thought she saw something. And so she had me come in and do a 3D mammogram. And then at that time, they was like, okay, you're good. Nothing was there, but we're going to monitor it. I would say around December, January, I noticed I felt a lump in my breast. I ignored it. And what most people do, try to pre-diagnose yourself. And I laugh about it now. But I was like, oh, I'm drinking too many sodas. And then they already said I had fascistics of the breast, so little lumps and stuff. So I was like, oh, let me lay off the sodas. Let me watch what I eat. Go figure, you're thinking that way. Really, you're not a doctor, but and I ignored the lump in my breast. So, and it kept growing and growing. And I would say March of 2012 is when I told my sister, I said, feel this. She was like, Erica, that's kind of big. That's hard. I said, yeah, I'm going to see my OBGY. I said, I got an annual. So I see her and see what she said and her thoughts about it. And when I went in to see her, I said, hey, doctor, feel this right here. I think it's like a little lump, but I think it's okay. Maybe it'll go down. And she just looked at me. She said, Erica, no, I need you to have a mammogram first. And this was a Good Friday. I think Kennedy was 3 years old at the time. And I told her, I said, oh, well, it's Good Friday on Friday, and my daughter is out of school. She said, oh, no problem. She told her admin assistant, she said, I need you to call over to DeKalb Medical, tell them that Erica's coming in for a mammogram, and I want her to see a breast specialist, and tell them she has to bring her daughter tomorrow. So she will be bringing a child with her because I need her to be seen in the morning. But at the time, just thinking,
it still wasn't registering to you that this was
not at all. So
before you go any further, let me ask you this. Did you think, well, this can't happen to me? Was that your mentality? Why you didn't believe it was nothing wrong with this lump?
You know what? I didn't even think about it in that form. I didn't even think about cancer. That was the furthest to my mind, like that, it was cancerous. I didn't even think that. I just think maybe it was a lump that probably they need. Did I bump something? It was like I was spaceless. I was clueless, rather, in the whole situation. And so when I went to have the mammogram done, and I saw the lady that was there, the nurse that was there was like, well, we want you to see a breast specialist. We're going to set something up. And I was like, oh no, my doctor already set something up with Dr. Rodriguez. So I have somebody already. And she was like, okay, he's great. He's a great doctor. So I'm just looking at her like, oh, okay. So still not thinking. Went to matter of fact, he saw me, still didn't think how serious it was, because, and now that I go back to it, it makes you think, okay, you had your mammogram that morning. He had an appointment with me at 1 o'clock that same day. Still, I'm clueless. I'm not thinking cancer. I'm thinking I'm good. Went to see him, and he said, well, I want to do a biopsy. I said, okay, cool, maybe. Do I need to lay off the sodas? And he's looking at me, smiling at me like, this woman is really clueless of what she. I'm still not thinking cancer at no point at this time. And he said, I'm gonna do a biopsy. We'll get the results back in a week or two, probably within a week. And he said, and then we'll know what we're fighting against, what's happening, why you got the lump, is it something? And I was like, oh, if it's something can be removed. He said, yeah, if it's something we can move, it can be removed, right? So that's what I'm thinking. At that time, I came back for the biopsy and still fine, didn't worry about it. I would say the night, it was a Thursday. So I would say that Wednesday evening, I think it hit me then that, that lump, I'm going to get the results the next day. And Kevin said, hey, you want me to go with you? He was going to work. I said, no, I'm good. Not knowing, when I went for the biopsy, my sister came with me because she said she had a funny feeling. I said, you can come to the doctor with me. He ain't doing nothing. We all right. He gonna let me know. I'm good. And she said the way the nurse looked at her, like, she said it was a look that she gave like something is going on, but she said you were still clueless to the situation. And I don't know if it was something I wanted to be clueless to the situation, but I was really clueless to the situation, not thinking, and no negative thoughts that something is wrong. I'm thinking I'm okay. And so my sister could not. She said, well, I'm gonna come with you. I said, well, Albie wanna come. She a worry bug. I'm gonna let her come. And so she said, she had to stay at work. Kevin said, well, you good? I said, I'm fine. Went in to the doctor. Well, I'm sitting there, my cousin come in and I'm like, why are you here? She said, well, your sister could be here. She wants somebody here with you. And I was like, yeah, I'm good. There's nothing wrong. If anything, they might remove this lump or give me some medicine for the lump to be reduced. And she just looking at me like, okay, well, your sister told me to be here. So I was like, okay, have a seat out here. The doctor, I'll be finishing a few. They calling me to the back. He calls me to the back. We're talking. And he said, anybody here with you? I said, yeah, my sister sent my cousin here. She's sitting outside. He said, do you mind her coming in? I said, sure, she can come on in. Clueless still, like, to the point. Oh, and we laugh about this too, like, Erica, because they call me a little prankster, a jokester. So we're sitting down and he said, you have stage 3, triple negative breast cancer. From that point, my cousin looking, I'm looking, and he said, from there, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what he said. I had an out-of-body experience. I broke down crying. I could not stop crying. All I kept saying is, I don't want to die. My baby is 4 years old. I can't die. I want to see her graduate high school. I want to see her get married. And I was just crying. I don't want to die. God, please don't take me now. My baby is 4. And my cousin, what I love, she was I just remember her sitting on the side of me and she was just like looking, and she had this pad. And he was talking and his nurse came in and she had this wooden cross. And she said, are you religious? I said, yes, ma'am. She said, you mind if we sit and pray? And she put the wooden cross that holds in the palm of my hands. It's funny because I gave the cross to my mom because 6 years later, my mom got diagnosed. Wow. She put it in my hand and she prayed with me to calm me down. And as he was talking, my cousin, she said, well, she's in a panic right now. Let me take the notes. My cousin said, what is her next step? So it was like an out-of-body experience. To me, when he was talking, it was like, want. Like I didn't hear nothing he said. I was still at the point that I'm dying. That's what and the nurse said to me, she said, Erica, we have more survivors than people that die. You're going to be okay. And she said, you're going to be fine. We're going to get through this. And she said, and then I think the doctor at the time, he said, I have a great oncologist. She's a research doctor. We call her Dr. J. And he said, I recommend you go to her and we're going to come up with a plan for you. You're going to be okay. And so when it was over, and I'm still like, we're trying to figure out how to calm me down to get me in the car to drive home. And he said, well, she can leave her car here if you want to drive. I was like, no, I want to be to myself. I can't believe this is happening to me. And I said, I just want to drive. I just told my cousin, she said, no, you're not in a place to drive. I said, no, please just let me drive home. I just wanted to have that moment. Like, I can't believe this just happened to me. Cancer. And most of the people I knew had cancer had passed away. So I had a cousin that passed. I had, my grandmother passed for cancer. So it was just for me.
As soon as he said cancer, you heard die.
That's what I heard.
You heard die. Let me, not to cut you off, let me ask you this, because I've heard you said stage 3 triple negative. What does the triple negative, what does that mean?
So that's one of your more aggressive form of cancer. And it's almost like a cancer that, wow, did they explain? I should have been more detailed with this one. It's like benign, but it's almost like they always say the chemos and different things is not really a cure for it. And they try different chemos for it. It's never no, like more so it was
more aggressive. It's more so when you found the lump the following year, could it have possibly been in stage 2 or stage 1, or we will never know that?
Actually, to be honest, it could have, because I could have caught it early if I would have just went back when I felt that lump.
And see, I'm saying that for a reason, because people may, be feeling the same way. Go when you first feel it. Absolutely.
When you first feel it, because when I first felt the lump, it was just a small lump right here in the right side of my breast, just a small lump. And I felt it, and it was just like, oh, okay. And I ignored it. And the crazy part, when I went to see Dr. J, back forward, I ended up calling Kevin and telling him he was at work, leaving work. And I just had a meltdown. He was like, where you are? I said, just stay where you at. I'm on my way home. He was picking up Kennedy from daycare. And I guess he was calling our friends and stuff, Jackson State family. The time I pulled up, everybody was in the front yard, and I'm just looking. And at the time, Kennedy was, and I just fell in his arms, and I just started crying. And I said, I'm so sorry. Take good care of my baby. Yeah, he was just like, babe, no, don't say this. That's what I'm still thinking. Take good. And I was like, Beastie, take care of Kennedy. And she was like, no, we're gonna beat this. Stop saying that. And I was trying to pull it together because she was in the house. So I didn't want her to see me like a nervous. So they got me together. We were able to go in the house and sit and, talk. My cousin, I thank God my sister said she just had a feeling and somebody needed to be there. Yes. And my cousin was able to sit down because Kevin was like, what's happening? I don't understand. And she was able to sit down. She had the notebook with all the notes. It is funny because I still got that notebook. She took really good notes. And she was taking the notes and talking with him about it. And like, he was like, what is our next step? And he was like, she got to see Dr. J. This is her number. And I'm going to be honest, at the time, I didn't want nobody to know. I was feeling emotional, depressed, and just, it was a lot that day. And like, why? And it is, why me? God, why me? Why are you doing this to me, Lord? Why you want to take, and it was just more, why you want to take me away? I'm not ready to leave now, because that's all I was thinking at the time. I'm not ready to leave. Don't do this to me. And I said it, I was depressed for a minute, and I end up Kennedy babysitter. I told her what happened. Well, Kevin told her what happened, and he was like, "We ain't gonna let nobody know. We'll get through this. Nobody, we good." And it was just a few people that knew. I hadn't even told my mother and father yet. I was trying to figure out how to tell them. And then my best friend Ann, her mother passed away, so it was just like, oh my goodness, I can't tell her. She's, dealing with her mother passing. So it was like, okay, everybody don't say anything. Let me just figure this out. And
go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to ask you, I was going to make a statement. You mentioned, why me? I have a cousin who's a 3-time breast cancer survivor, and she asked God the same thing. And she said, he told her, why not you? And I was like, wow, that's so profound, because we always feel like you know, me, this can't be happening to me. But he like, why not?
Yeah.
So even in that, he was showing his grace and mercy to get you to that next place, which is, and and not to cut you, because we'll be all day. We'll be
Yeah.
But I want to know, how did you, can you describe your treatment process, your journey, and what options did you consider?
So at the time, I met with Dr. J, and it was so funny because Kevin said to her, well, can we just cut the breast off, cut her breast? Imagine he's sitting next to me, oh, just cut it off. And I'm looking at him. I said, well, what you mean just cut my breast off? He said,
Because he just like, that's the problem. Take those. We
he's
can.
like, can you just cut her breast off? And the doctor looking at it, I'm looking at it, I'm turning around. I said, oh, cut my breast off. Why don't you? And he was like, no, babe, if they cut them off, you don't have cancer no more. Now you. And the doctor's looking at both of us.
Like, these two right here.
And I said, oh, yeah. I'm like, oh, yeah. And so she said, no. She said, Erica, and I didn't realize this part too. She said the tumor in my breast is growing rapidly. And it was 10 centimeters. So the right side of my breast, it was from here all the way to here.
What?
And it was growing rapidly. And she said to me, you need to get in treatment. And I remember saying, well, hey, we need to probably get a second opinion. That's what Kevin said. We need a second opinion. Later, I finally told my mom, and she was like, oh, don't you be a big guinea pig to nobody. You need to be getting a second opinion. But I'm going to be honest. When Dr. J sat with us, she's a researcher, the oncologist, she said to me, I have more survivors than the people passed away. We're going to get through this. She said, I treat this type of cancer a lot. And she was saying, and this is the research on it. She said, I want to opt you for a study because the tumor is growing rapidly and we don't want it to grow to the point it spreads into your lungs and your brain.
Right.
We wanted to get to that point. She said, so you can get your second opinion, but I need you in chemo like today. And she set me up for testing and she said, go on and set your appointment up, but I'm about survivors. So I need to set your appointment up for your port. I need some testing to see what your blood samples, just everything she was doing. She said, so I'm gonna set this up and I want you to go, but I can't force you to go, but I'm gonna tell you, you can survive this. We're gonna get through this. And it was something just about her that gave me that one warm and fuzzy that just said, I'm in good hands. I don't know. I just felt like I was in good hands when I sat there. And Kevin looking at me, he was like, so you're going to do all this? I was like, I don't know, babe. I don't know. I feel it. I think, and so that's when we went through all the different tests and different things of that nature. And I opted for a study because the tumor was so big, they needed to reduce the tumor. And she did explain, if they was to cut, she said, even if you go to somebody and they tell you they can cut your breast and remove it, she said, I want you to be aware because it's growing and it's so huge. As they open it up, it can spread
go to
through your
different
body.
places. Yeah.
And she said, we want to reduce the tumor, kill the cells, then go in and have surgery to remove it. Because right now it's growing. And so I said, I understood what she was
talking about.
Right. And so end up going to treatment. And at the time I did 19 chemo treatments, I did 3 blood transfusions, and then I did 36 rounds of radiation. Yes, it was hard. That journey was hard.
How did you cope with the side effects of the treatment?
I'm gonna tell you, that was really hard coping with the side effects of the treatment. For me, I was sick a lot. I went to chemo every Friday. So when I went to chemo on Fridays, I didn't have an appetite. I was on, oh my good. I think I was on 8 different medications. When I went to the doctor, I just slapped my medication in a bag and keep it moving because I feel like I'm on so much medication right now. And
you had to do this 18 weeks because you said 18 treatments. So 8. Oh, wow.
So, but at the end, the last chemo that I had to take, It was I can't think of the name of it, but it was red. I call it the Red Devil. But the lady said, Erica, be positive. It's Kool-Aid. I said, well, this Kool-Aid ain't good. This Kool-Aid got me on I had to be in here for, I had to get a blood transfusion from it. And so that one, it made me really sick to the point I used to be in a fetal position and in tears because I was just sick. And I couldn't do that. Well, I couldn't endure that one every week. So she moved that to every other week and they put it at the end for me. But it was hard. It was times that my feet felt heavy. I felt like needles was pricking my feet. I didn't have an appetite. When I smelled, like if Kevin tried to cook something, if I smelled raw meat, it made me throw up. It felt like morning sickness when you're pregnant. So I didn't have an appetite. And it's the crazy thing. And Kevin's like, you got to stop eating that. I love applesauce and watermelon. Go figure.
Hey. But you know what? It was water in the watermelon. You was eating something healthy. So hey, at least you were eating.
And then my blood levels used to go, my red blood count used to be very low. So she would always check that. And so Saturdays I would have to go and get a blood transfusion if my blood levels was really low. I was really scared about that because, you know, back in the day, you hear about blood transfusion. And one of the nurses told me, she said, baby, she was an older nurse. She was so sweet. She said, baby, you're going to feel like new money. You fine. We do all type of testing. You're going to be okay. You fine. And she would always be there on a Saturday with me. She said, you ready? Come on. We're going to new money. And it made me feel better. And I would have fluids that day because that last chemo really did me in. But it's a hard journey. And I would say what made it easy is with the support from the sorors here in Atlanta, Jackson State family and my family. And it really does take a village. And I used to tell people, at first I was that person to the point of, I'm good, I'm fine, I don't need anything, I'm all right. And this one lady told me, she said, Erica, stop blocking other people's blessings. I said, how I'm blocking their blessings? She said, they're not doing it just to do it. They're doing it because, you're blocking their blessings to help you. And they want to help you. You can't do it alone. And I learned that one day. Kevin was at work. I didn't even know at the time my red blood count was very low. And who was it? Daphne, my friend, she went to Jackson State. She was calling just to check on me. She said I was just on her mind. And I can like barely hold my head up and I was barely talking to her. She said, I sound real funny on the phone. And she got in her car from work and drove to the house. I couldn't even get up to like really get the door because I was so weak. I didn't know what was wrong. And she said, E, open the door. I said, Dad, I'm weak. I can't. And I was like I made it to the door and I just fell. And she said, where's Dr. J number? I said, in my phone. She called Dr. J. She said, bring her in. She brought me in and Dr. J said, she need to get to the hospital. She need a blood transfusion like right now. She need fluid. So I was just sitting at home, and that really taught me a lesson. That really,
and y'all have to, and please realize how important giving blood is. When they do it at your jobs, please give blood if you're able to. Sometimes a lot of people are iron deficient, so they can't, or you have certain diseases going on. But if you are able to give blood, it's so important because I've been in a situation myself where I almost didn't make it because I needed 2 pints of blood and it was so short. She needed blood. It's so important. I didn't mean to cut you off, but that's true. That's dear to my heart. I always try to give, when they come to work or whatever, but it's so important. And you can do it outside of your job.
Yes.
Anytime. You can do it whenever you want to. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
So that really taught me a lesson that, hey, Erica, don't be in silo. And the crazy part was, and to go back some, at the time I didn't want anyone to know. I was feeling depressed, crying some nights, didn't want Kennedy or Kevin to see me crying. So I wait till they go to bed and then I go downstairs and cry and be like, why me, God? And just go through all of those emotions. And my Kennedy babysitter, she said, Erica, I need you to go to church with me. I said, no, I'm gonna go to my church. I'm okay. She was like, Erica, I really need you to go to church with me. And I said, I go next Sunday. That Sunday morning, I woke up and something just told me to go to her church. Her sister is a pastor, and actually she's a thorough.
Mhm.
And I was in the church. I didn't tell her I was coming. I just end up just going. Me, Kennedy, and Kevin end up going. I said, babe, I just need to go to Pastor Mill's church. Something is telling me to go there. So I end up going and didn't get a chance to talk to her, and walked in and we sat down. And it was funny because Pastor Mills was preaching, and then she got up and she said, I don't know, I got a strong sense. And she was stopping. And they was like, well, what's wrong? They was looking at her, what's wrong? She said, I need to pray for somebody. And they was like, and so it was funny because Miss Val turned and she said, she saw me, and she was like, Erica? And so I walked up and I was telling her, I just got diagnosed with breast cancer. And she said, she didn't even ask me which breast. She put holy oil on her hand. She just reached in, went right to my right breast. And she said, mind you, me and her never had a conversation, never talked or nothing. And I just told her I got recently diagnosed with stage 3 triple negative breast cancer. She started praying. Mind you, when I got diagnosed, the doctor kept asking me, did I have pains? Did I feel shortness of breath? It was just all type of different pains that I was feeling. I didn't feel no pains. Matter of fact, I was in boot camp working out. So I didn't feel any pain. I just felt the lump. And when she was praying over my breast, she said, I never felt that lump move. While she was praying, while the lump was moving in a circle like this,
Jesus.
And it was moving and it was moving. And she was like, take the pain out of her, take the depression out of her, make her happy, make her want to speak to her journey. Because mind you, I didn't want to tell nobody anything. And she just said all this stuff, and the tumor was just moving in a circle. In the end, when she stopped,
and you're feeling this.
I'm feeling the tumor just going in a circle. I never felt it, just going in a circle. When she stopped praying, the tumor stopped right here. After treatment, mind you, it felt like it felt like a spirit or something just lifted out of me. I felt just cool and warm. And I don't know, when she finished praying over me, I felt like I'm gonna be okay. I just had that, Erica, you're gonna beat this. Mind you, I was thinking death. And I was just like, I'm gonna be okay, I'm gonna beat this, we're gonna do this. And that's how I was feeling. And in the end of all my chemo treatments and everything, and when they was ready for surgery, guess where they found that lump? My lump they have in my medical records, the lump drastically reduced from 10 centimeters to 0.0.3, and they found it right here on the right side.
Think it's a game.
Yeah, I tell people, if you don't know about God, let me tell you. Let me tell you what he helped me through.
When you were asking him, why me? He was like, say less, just watch what I'm gonna do for you.
Yes.
And just think, and I'm not saying because the chemo and that helped, I'm sure that did. However, when you changed your mindset, because it went from death to, I'm gonna be all right.
I'm gonna be all right.
And that's when he was able to move.
Yep.
God's good. Girl,
yeah.
I can start. But let me ask you this. What strategies did you find most helpful managing your stress and anxiety? Because you're going through this, you've never been sick like this in your life, I'm sure. And then your hair.
Yeah.
Now, Erica and I, we knew each other at Jackson State, but we weren't friends. We never talked really. We hung around the same people. But I'm gonna let you answer that. But how we ended up when she got sick, and like she said, Jackson State, Ann, Monique, Carol, Daphne, all of these, and it was several others. My baby, we grew up together since we was 5. Tara Hobbs, all of us, and she's a breast cancer survivor. But those ladies was posting about Erica nonstop. And I just started praying for you. I never told you this. I prayed fervently for you because I was like, I can't believe this, because like I said, we were young, we're young and all of this is happening. And it's like, God, she just, she got a baby. Please, got a husband. Please, spare her. And I had to send you a friend request because I was like, I want to see this journey. And I saw him take you from this. You were bald head. Tell us about how you managed that stress and the anxiety of losing your hair, going through all this stuff. How did you manage that? I know prayer was probably one of them.
Yeah, prayer. And I was like that support from your family and friends.
Yes.
And it was crazy because my beautician at the time, she said, Erica, you're gonna lose your hair. And we cut my hair short. So I had a short do so it won't be so drastic to the point of I'll wake up, it's on my pillow. So I woke up and a glob of hair was just sitting. I just had one big bald spot and the hair was laying right on my pillow. And I
long, pretty hair.
and I cried and I cried and I never forget. I called VC I called Daphne and VC, and they ended up calling our girl Mo, who used to do our hair. And next thing you know, they was like, "Hey, Eve, we're gonna be over there. We're gonna help shave your head." I was like, "Okay," and I was like, I think I sent Kennedy to my to Miss Val's, to the babysitter, and I said, "Well, I didn't want her to see this. I don't know how I was gonna be with it." And they all came over. Sorors, my line sisters, Jackson State. Jackson State was very deep in there. Line sisters, Jackson.
Always deep.
And they did a shave your head party.
Mm.
So they had wine, liquor, food, and it was like, and I was so. What was the emotion of your hair loss? I didn't have that emotion because they there, and they was all there, and what she did is just shave your head party. She told everybody to surprise me, and they all came to the house and told Kevin, and everybody just shaved a piece and took a piece of my hair, and that's how I got through it. And when I was bald, I never forget, Monique said, "No, wear your bald head." I was like, "No, I ain't wearing no bald head." She said, "If you wear your bald head, I'm gonna make you earrings." So all of the earrings.
Beautiful head.
Yeah, so and it was crazy because I was in a beauty supply, and my sister Brandy, she said, because she was going through some things too, and so I said, "Brandy, I'm looking for a wig. I don't know what I'm looking for." She said, "Where are you?" I said, "I'm in Chapel Beauty or Wesley Chapel." She said, "Erica, just sit down there." Mind you, I'm in there having a meltdown because I don't know how to pick a wig.
Yeah.
And she pull up at Chapel Beauty or Wesley Chapel, and she come in there, and the people just looking at me. I was thinking they're gonna call the police on me. She came up there. They said she okay. She has cancer and she's having a meltdown about picking a wig. But it was funny because one lady in there, she was really nice. She said, "I thought something was going on with you," and she helped me pick a wig. And it was funny. I think one day I was driving. I didn't have the strength, but I wanted to show Kennedy that I had the strength to pick her up sometime. And I wanted to pick her up, and I had my wig on my head. And I got hot. I had a hot flash. The wig was on my head. It was crooked.
I'm sorry.
I'm in the car and I'm so hot. The wig itching my bald head. I snatched the wig out, put it on the thing. And it was funny because the guy next to me was looking like, "Wait a minute, did I saw this lady who just said that shit?" And it was crazy because I had to pick up Kennedy and the kids. I would say what helped me too was the resilience that God put in your children and the way your children talk to you. I went in there and I said, "Oh my God, I got to put this wig together." And it's all crooked. And I'm trying to get it together to get Kennedy. And I said, "I can't do this. I can't do this." And one of the girls said, "Hey, Miss Erica, I go get Kennedy." She saw me. She said, "My mom already told me I go get Kennedy for you." And so another time I had to get her, and kids was like, "Oh, your mama, man, she got a bald head." Kennedy told them, "No, my mama got cancer and God gonna cure her." She did not let. Yeah, and she was in a Catholic school, so I'm happy I was able to see how God is so good, even though I was out of work, because I was on FMLA.
Right.
And God is so good because I was able to still maintain her in private school. And so when the school she was in was a Catholic school, so they allow her to pray. So her teacher was even supportive through this part because she would say, "Hey, Miss Barnes, Kennedy had a bad day. Was you not feeling good today?" I said, "Oh, I was feeling really bad this morning." I said, "Usually kind of get up and get her a pancake or something." And she said, "Yes, she noticed you in the bed." And she said, "But we prayed for you today." And I said, "Okay, I'm gonna pull it together." So when she get out of school, I would go downstairs and I sit up on the couch and I'd be like, "Hey, how was school, baby?" Even I'm tired and just beat down from chemo, I had to hold it together to
Right.
help her through that process. And she'd come in and lay on me and she said, "No, mommy, go take your nap. I'm gonna sit here and read the book to you." So that was with her. Yeah.
You know, Erica, and that's what I was going to ask you, especially with family, your support system. How how grateful was Kevin and your mom and your sister? Because I know they was doing their part, but that's a lot to deal with. How and Kennedy, I know they was thankful, but what did that support system mean to Kevin? Did he ever verbally tell you how he felt about that? How they came in and helped you?
You know what, Kevin, in the beginning, he was like, we good, I got it, I got it. It is so funny because he wasn't the best cook, but he would cook.
He
And
was trying.
but then one day I text my line sister. She was like, she'll call and say, "Hey Kevin, how's she doing?" He was like, "She good, she's laying down, da 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 da." And so when I went to surgery to get my breast removed, she was like, "Hey, Kevin said you good, LS?" I said, "He trying his best to cook. He ain't the best cook." Ding dong. "Hey, Kevin, here's the list. This is we'll be bringing dinner over.
I
Such
love
and
it.
such got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, da, da." For 3 months.
I
I
know
had
he was
food
thankful.
coming to the house.
Really
They said,
thankful.
"Kevin, you just work and take care of our sister. We have your meals."
I love it.
And for 3 months, and then my mother-in-law, she came in town for Thanksgiving and cooked Thanksgiving dinner. Another soror, her mother, they told me I needed to have liver, and she made really good liver. So on Sundays, her mom would say, "Oh, we got to get them red blood count out. You got to eat liver." And she
Yes,
would cook liver on Sundays so I can, get my red blood count up. So yes, yeah.
that is such a blessing. I mean, it because like you say, and leaning on that shield,
Yeah.
leaning on your tiger family, your blood family. Everybody came in to do their part to make sure not only you were okay, but Kevin and Kennedy was okay. Because I know that was a relief for him. Because
Yeah.
especially sometimes you not because of the chemo and stuff going on in your body, you don't want to eat. So if
Yeah.
it's nasty or it's not really appealing, you really don't. So that was a blessing.
I didn't have even appetite. Like I had chemo on Friday. I would be sick. I didn't get my appetite back to Thursday, but I was back in chemo on Friday. So my sister would come over every Sunday and cook Sunday dinner, but I couldn't eat. I just didn't have the appetite.
Wow. So, Erica, how has your perspective on life changed on this life-changing event since your diagnosis? What has changed now? What's the perspective on life for you?
You know what? For me, I thank God for a second chance.
Yeah.
I don't let the small stuff bother me. And it's so funny because I was at work and this one of the trainees and said, "You always smiling. Do you ever get mad?" I said, "I get mad. I got my favorite cuss word, but why be in life mad?" Like even Kevin was telling me, "Do you notice now since you've been in treatment, you don't keep a watch?" I said, "Dad, I did used to wear a watch now. I feel like now I'm on God's time. I just living, I just want to live life and just be happy and go through stuff." But after going through that life change, the little things that you
That's
go
a
through that
small.
happen, they small to you fight
Small.
for your life and not knowing you're gonna make it. I had a cousin, I was diagnosed in 2012, triple negative breast cancer in April. She was diagnosed in June in her left breast, triple negative breast cancer. She passed away June of 2013.
So
Same
1
cancer,
year later.
different breath, 1 year later.
And you know what? And it depends on
That mindset.
your mindset.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, you know, and my condolences, I'm not saying, but that probably has something to do with it. And we have to realize that whatever you speak, when the Bible says out of the heart, the mouth speaks, you have what you say.
Yes.
You really have what you say. And you have to speak the word only. I don't care what's going on. You got to do it. And you got to that point when you was talking to God, why me?
Yeah.
Why not you, Erica?
Why
And
not?
and you know, and so it's a blessing. I'm just the perspective that you have now, because you've always, she from Chicago. And I'm not from Chicago, but my family is, I am a house baby since I was a little girl. And we love house music. And it's like it's happy music.
Yes.
I
Yes.
don't understand why people don't
I'm
like
a
it.
house head.
I don't understand why people don't like it. I'm like, it's a compilation of gospel and
Mhm.
R&B, and it's
Yeah.
amazing. I don't get it. I don't get it. But you know, we can go on and on about that. But how do you celebrate your your milestones in your survivorship? Oh, and what was the date that your doctor said you were cancer free? Also, when you rang the bell, what was it like for you?
And so it's funny because the ringing the bell was a new thing. It's a kind of newish
Was
thing.
it?
Yeah, because I was like, oh, we didn't have no bell.
Oh, so
So
you didn't have a bell.
we
Okay.
didn't have a bell on my last day. So it was funny. I'm gonna have you laughing. So my doctor set my surgery, right? And she was like, okay, we got to get she said that the tumor has reduced. It's 0.03 centimeters. She said we can do a lumpectomy or we can remove it. And I was like, remove it. I had my breast removed. My fear was it coming back, even though she said, no, we got it all. She ran some additional tests. And on, was it October 19th? October 19th.
Next week.
Yeah, next week, October. No, it's Ann's birthday. So October, no, did I forget my date already? It's Ann's birthday, what day it is. The 30th?
Okay.
The 29th? The 29th. I was
Okay.
supposed to have it early on, have surgery. And I went to the doctor and Kevin said, I can't believe Dr. J, she want to go to homecoming and she got surgery. And Dr. J said, well, Erica, I said, well, Dr. J, what if I die in surgery? She said, Erica, stop. You're not going to die in surgery. I said, anything can happen. I need to go to my homecoming and have my last Shirai. And he said, she don't need to be at homecoming, Dr. J. He said, well, Erica, I said, I'll put on a mask. I won't be around people like that. And I said, but I want to go to homecoming, please, Dr. J. And so she allowed me to go to homecoming. I don't know if you remember, I was there with my mom. And
I remember.
I was like, I got one time, I took a picture with Mom, Derek, Kevin, baby brother. And I got real drained. And he was like, you need to go back to the room and go lay down. And I did have to go lay down. But I went to homecoming, had me a good time. I said,
I thought she was fine. I was like, oh, praise the Lord, she's here, you know.
Girl, I went to homecoming that weekend, went to Saturday surgery that Thursday.
Oh my gosh.
With the surgery.
Well, at least you got to go. And so, Erica, what do you think is the most important message about breast cancer awareness? And we talked about it earlier. What do you think?
I would say, do not self-diagnose. Do not ignore the lump. When you feel it, even if you don't think it's nothing, get it checked out.
Check that.
One of the things the doctor told me, Erica, if you would have kept on, it would have spread it to your lungs and your brain, and there's nothing we can do.
We're going to be talking today.
Right. She said, think about it. If we would have caught that back in January, it would have been probably 0. We don't know what it would have been. She said, I'm happy you came in today so we can move forward. But I think about, what if I sat in it and just ignored it?
Yeah.
Anything could have happened to me.
Anything.
And I would say if you feel something, as women, we know what's different about our body and what's going on. If you having that feeling, not feeling, fight for it. Fight for those tests. Fight for those mammograms. Making sure if you feel anything, go get that checked out. Because that anything can turn to something. Like I said, my tumor was small. I remember it. I remember a small tumor right there on the side, but I ignored it and kept on with my life, working every day, saying, I ain't got time for that. I'll be okay. Self-diagnosed. I ain't never been to medical school. Ain't none of that. Had insurance, got good insurance. Like when I used to go to treatment, you're going to be good. They're going to take care of everything. My insurance took care of everything. But self-diagnosis, just ignoring it. Don't ignore it.
So you do not suggest ignoring and doing self-diagnosis. If you feel a lump, if you just go to the doctor, just go. And even if you don't have insurance to get mammograms, they get free mammograms.
Free mammograms. You also have different foundations that's giving funding for you to get checked and physicals. It's so much. There's so many services out here. Yes. We have to link into these services and not say, oh, I don't have the insurance, I can't do it. Yes, you can. You can do it.
Yes, you can. That's true. So what have you learned about yourself through this experience?
I didn't know my own strength. And that's one song that I always listen to with Whitney Houston. I didn't know my own strength. I didn't think, because I'm gonna say it was a day that I did say, I was sitting on the bed and Kevin said, come on, we got to go to chemo. I said, I'm done. I can't do this no more. I said, take care of Kennedy. I said, if you decide to get remarried, make sure they don't hurt my baby. If not, my friends, they gonna come up in here. And he looking at me, you talking about fighting and you supposed to go to chemo. I said, they gonna rock this. Your world in here. And he looking at me like, get up here and go to chemo. I said, I ain't going to chemo. I'm tired of this. I'm sick of this. Y'all will be okay. And my doctor said to me, she gave us her personal cell because she said, you go through this, I know. She said, no, Erica, let's come on and have a talk. I went in there, end up with chemo. So I was like, I didn't know my strength. Like, I didn't know I had it in me to do and go through what I went through. Some days now I get emotional about it. Some days laughing moments over, stuff I just did through treatment that you can laugh about it. I now talk to other people saying, no, you're going to be okay. You're going to get through this. If you got to call me at 2 or 3 in the morning crying, because it was many times I didn't want Kevin to know. I'd be downstairs 3, 4 in the morning crying. Like, God, why you doing this to me? Why this? Why? And then I got to the point, why not me? Like you said, your cousin, why not me? I got to the point of why not me? And later find out in life, 5 years later, my mother got diagnosed with breast cancer. My best friend from high school got diagnosed with breast cancer.
So they needed you.
I met another soror. She was in treatment. And Dr. J said, Erica, it's another young lady. I was 42. So Sherry was probably 35, 34. She said, I want you to meet her and talk to her. I was like, I don't want to talk to her. And then I talked to her and we are the best of friends. And she was a soror. Wow. We still talk to each other today. Because at the time, I didn't want nobody to know. And then later, it was just like, Erica, she said, your spirit, I need you to talk to people. And then even God bringing people in my life. I think I had a day that I couldn't go through it no more. And I never saw this lady. And tell you how God bring to you. She said, I see you come get your daughter every morning. I said, yeah. She said, how are you feeling? I'm just looking at her. I said, I'm okay. I said, I'm, got cancer, but, fighting through it. She pulled her shirt and showed me her port. And I looked and she said, I noticed your struggles. She said, sister, it's going to be okay. She said, you can get through this. You're going to be all right. I needed to hear that. And I said, hi, God. And like when I couldn't eat stuff and I was sick and my doctor was like, oh, I'm going to put you on Ensure. I said, Dr. J, I ain't drinking no Ensure. She said, you losing too much weight. You got to get something. And this one lady, God put in your life, I haven't seen her again. She said, I said, I can't eat. And she said, don't eat with silverware because the chemo is poison and it got the platinum in it.
Metal.
The metal. She said, eat with plastic silverware. I started doing that. Eat because it made gag. So she said plastic. So I met this one lady. She was talking to me and she said, I can't eat. I said, plasticware. Plastic silverware. What it's plastic, something that's simple.
The chemo. Wow. Yeah. Last question. How has your experience shaped your goals for the future?
My experience has shaped my goals for the future. I said it, determination. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I would say I would sit for me, like with my job and just things I do, I would sit there because I'm comfortable. Mm-hmm. It has pushed me to say, don't sit there. You can do something different. Do this, do that. Give me more, I would say, encouragement too. Encouragement and fight and drive. Drive, right? Yeah. That fight and that drive to just like, if I'm not happy, don't sit in it. Like, just like, okay, I got to try to do something different. Don't sit in that and being okay. When stuff happens, it's okay. It's okay. To go back to, that's not your time. And God said, you're not ready for that at that time. I'm going to give it to you when you're ready for it. And it's okay.
Amen. You know, I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm so thankful you're still here. We got one milestone, well, several milestones. We watched Kennedy from, she's a senior now.
Yeah.
Now we got college coming.
Yeah.
Marriage, grandkids. It's on its way.
Yes.
God is faithful.
He is.
Faithful.
Awesome. Serve an awesome God.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Erica, thank you so much for joining me today, and giving your testimony and discussing what happened in your journey as a breast cancer survivor. But before we go, excuse me, I should have brought some water. We play a game that's called What You Know. You're like, oh my gosh. And what it is, I'll be asking trivia about sports. It's not, you don't have to know it. It's okay. It's just, we just having fun. So I know, and I don't know if are you a Chicago Bears fan? Because I don't never hear you.
I'm not a, look, I like the Bears colors, but I'm not. I play football, but I like professional football.
Okay, well, I have some Atlanta Falcons trivia for you anyway. So I got multiple choice because I was like, I didn't know really what team was your team. So real quick, what year did the Falcons join the NFL? Was it 1996, 1986, 1976, or 1966?
1976?
66.
66. Okay.
Yeah, it came in the 60s. Excuse me. What division does the Falcons compete in? Is it AFC East, NFC West, AFC North, or NFC South?
Is it the South?
NFC South. That's correct. Deion Sanders was the first player to do what 4 times in his career Pro Bowl? Force a fumble, return a punt for a touchdown, sack the quarterback, or intercept a pass?
Intercept the pass. Yeah.
Correct. Who holds the record for the most career receiving yards? Was it Roland Lawrence, Roddy White, Michael Vick, or Tony Gonzalez?
Michael Vick.
Roland. What Falcon won the NFL MVP award in 2016? Was it Julio Jones, Matt Ryan, Devontae Freeman, or Tony Gonzalez?
What's the name? Julio? Is it what's this?
You saying Julio Jones?
Was it Julio Jones?
Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan. Okay.
Who is the current owner of the Falcons? Is it Mike Vick, Matt Ryan, Mark Cuban, or Arthur Blank?
Arthur Blank.
I'm like, you better know that one.
Yeah, I know that one.
Which stadium does the Falcon call home? Is it Coca-Cola Field, Peachtree Park, Falcon Field, or Mercedes-Benz Stadium?
Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
In 2002, who became an MVP candidate his first season as a full-time Falcon starter at age 22? Was it Sean Alexander, Mike Vick, Jamal Lewis, or Larry Fitzgerald?
Is it Michael Vick? Look, all I know is Michael Vick.
Yes.
I'm Michael Vick. I like anything. Michael Vick. Michael Vick.
Which Falcon player holds the record for career touchdowns? Is it Julio Jones, Roddy White, Michael Vick, or Tony Gonzalez?
What was the second one you said?
Roddy White.
Is it Ronnie Wright?
It is.
Okay. I was like, I don't know this one on that. Okay. Okay.
Last one. Which Falcon player is the all-time leading scorer for the Falcons? Was it Mike Vick, Roddy White, Matt Bryant, or Julio Jones?
Say that question one more time. What was
Which Falcon player is the all-time leading scorer for the Falcons? Was it Mike Vick, Roddy White, Matt Bryant, or Julio Jones?
What was the second name again?
Roddy White,
Robbie White?
Bryant, Julio Jones.
Raleigh White?
Matt Bryant.
Mike Bryant.
Yep, Matt Bryant, yep. Well, Erica, again, thank you so much for joining us today. And guys, please follow me on She Say Sports on Facebook, She Say Sports 23 on Instagram, and please subscribe to our YouTube page, She Say Sports. Well, that's my show for today. Until next time, this is Sonia with She Say Sports. I knew it was going to.
She say sports. She say